Okay, folks, a bit of a change of plan for this episode. We were originally going to be playing the second leg of the second round of the Europa League knockouts against Nice. That's the team we ended up getting drawn against. I'll level with you. I played the first leg. We battered them 4-0. Kind of feels a little bit pointless playing the second leg on camera because unless anything dramatic happens, we're pretty much through. So I've already played the second leg. Spoilers, we are through. So today's episode is going to be slightly different. We're going to play Juventus in Serie A, and then we're going to go all the way to the second leg of the Europa League quarter-final against a team we haven't drawn yet because the draw is going up now. Hello there, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 6 of Let's Go Parma. I'm Stubo. Thank you for joining me in today's episode, where, as I mentioned in the intro, we are changing the plan a little bit, and we are going to be playing Juventus in the first game. In the second game, we're going to be playing whoever on earth we've got in the quarterfinal of the Europa League in the second leg. If that sounds like a plan to you, please leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel as well for more lovely future Football Manager content. Since you were last with us, we've won all of the football. It's been very nice, actually. Slavia Prague was the last game you guys saw, so we went and beat Roma. That was nice. Coutinho getting a 93rd minute winner. Well, not winner, actually. We're already winning, but a 93rd minute goal just to settle things down a little bit, because it was a bit of a nervy game, this one. We then went and beat Nice in the first leg of the Europa League 4-0. That was about the point where I was thinking to myself, is it worth showing the second game? We ended up not doing that. We then beat Inter, which was a huge game, and we did do it in, I was going to say in some style. It wasn't in much style at all, actually, but we won we were winning 2-0 for quite a substantial part of the game, and in the 87th minute, Sesko did get a goal back for them, so it was a bit nervy towards the end, but we saw it through. And then, as I said before, we just decided at the last minute, let's just play the Nice game, let's get it out of the way, because 4-0, it's going to be something monumental for us to mess that up, and it turned out to be absolutely the right call. We won 3-1, Danilo Cataldi with two absolutely stunning free kicks, the like of which you don't see from anyone other than Coutinho usually. Did a great job. Kasper Dolberg rounding things off at the end against his former club as well, so that was quite nice for him. I say his former club, I don't know whether we got him from them. Yeah, we did actually. Don't doubt yourself, Stu, you remember things. But yes, so, with all of that done, it leaves us with a game against Juventus in Serie A. So we're coming back for that one. Then we are going to skip ahead all the way to down here where the Europa League quarterfinal second leg is. But before we do that, we need to know who we're playing. So we are going to make the draw for the quarterfinal and semi-final. So let's have a look, shall we? So the teams who are left in the pot are Monaco, Juventus, Lyon, ourselves, Everton, Lazio, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Betis. There's a couple of teams now I don't want, I can tell you that. Let's just go for it. So, first team out of the pot is Paris Saint-Germain. FM Gods. Would rather not have this one if that's okay, thank you. Cheers for that. Right, next out of the hat is Juventus. Oh no, I'd rather not have Juventus, but if we have to have them, we have to have them. Don't have them, and we avoid the Premier League teams, so that's quite interesting. So, teams that are left in the pot are ourselves, Monaco, Lazio, and Betis. I've got to be honest with you, I fancy our chances against most of those. I'd like to avoid Lazio, but I fancy our chances against Monaco and Betis, I think. So, let's go ahead and see who the next team is. It's Monaco. Again, I think I'll take this. That's fine, I'll take that. Betis versus Parma, that'll do. That'll do plenty. So, let's just very quickly have a look at the semi-final should we get there as well. So, Paris Saint-Germain or Lyon will play Juventus or Everton. Realistically, we have got the best draw possible there. That's actually, we might be winning the Europa League. That's actually really good. As a path through to the final, that's as good as it could have been. We avoid Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus up until potentially the final. And it might even be Lyon or Everton, which would be even better. Oh, we might have a chance. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, I'm excited about that. Right, Real Betis, how good are you at the moment? You are currently 6th in La Liga, so realistically, we have got a very good chance of going up against them and beating them. What currently is their form looking like? They're in a bit of a rough patch of form at the moment, so by the time we get to them, they've got to play some teams who they should be beating, really. So, okay, that's quite interesting. Excellent. I'll take that all day long. I'll absolutely take all day long. Ooh, I'm choking on my own happiness there. Right, we're going to skip ahead just to the start of the Juventus game, and, well, that was probably as good as it could be, really, wasn't it? And here we are for that game against Juventus, and this is going to be the 11 that hopefully will get us another 3 points. Currently, as it stands, we are 4 points behind AC Milan, but we have a game in hand. So win this and we go within a point of them, keeping that pressure up. Remember, we play them on the final day of the league season, so could all come down to that. It's Dragowski in goal, Sambia, Greenwell, Thiat and Cambiasso in defence, Coutinho and Cataldi in the midfield with Dennis Mann, Karabek and Mihaila supporting Dolberg up front. I have absolutely no idea how this game is going to go. I'm just going to talk through. I don't normally show you this bit, but I'm going to talk through while I'm doing this bit. I have no idea how this is going to go because we have been a very good football team and we are capable of beating anyone. But realistically, Juventus, I'm just going to try and G everyone up. Juventus are good enough to beat us by far. If you look at their 11, they've got some absolutely world-class players. But then, actually, we've got some really, really good players as well. So, maybe, just maybe, we've got enough in us to get those 3 points that we need to keep up the pressure against AC Milan at the top of the table. Maybe I'm just doubting myself a bit too much. We need to be confident. Yes, we don't have Lorenzo Lucca, but we've got a really good team other than him. And Karabek is in here, and he should have put it in the back of the net. And Nubal makes the save. It is going to be a corner for, I'm going to guess it's Dennis Mann who's going to take it. No, it's Cataldi to take. Okay. Cataldi whips in looking for Dolberg. Dolberg is there. Oh, the way that changed then, I thought it was going to a penalty. It didn't, obviously. But, oh, could you imagine if we got a penalty so early on? Right, Karabek now, whipping it in, looking for Dennis Mann. Forced him a little bit wide there, which is a bit unfortunate. Coutinho now looking for options, gets to the Sambia. It's nice to see Coutinho getting involved. Look at the ability there. Wow. Normally, he just stands still in the midfield, and somehow that gets through to Valentin Mihaila, our top goal scorer at the club, gets his 17th of the season. Lovely stuff. Coutinho does have a habit sometimes of sitting back and kind of letting play go by him. And he just, when the ball comes to him, he just finds a killer pass every now and then. But it's really nice to see him drive from the midfield and actually affect the play. And he was a key part of that move. And Mihaila makes it 1-0 in the 6th minute, just in the 6th minute. And we lead. And as it stands, we are only 1 point behind AC Milan. Lovely stuff. Let's carry that on, boys. That'd be lovely. That'd be perfect. If we can just keep going with that, I would be very happy. They're not very happy. We are delighted. I say delighted. There's a couple of smiley faces there. I don't really know. But yeah. Let's just carry this on, boys. Let's just carry this on. And we have a highlight. It is Sambia with the throw. Gets it to Dolberg. Probably should be in the middle of the park, but it doesn't matter because Mihaila's there. I tell you what. Valentin Mihaila this season has just been incredible. And I don't know if I've talked about him enough. Yes, he's our top goal scorer. Yes, we did sell our primary striker. But even then, I think he'd still be our top goal scorer. He's always lurking at that post. I don't even think he's that tall. He's 5'11". His jumping reach is 11. His heading is 7. And yet, quite a few of his goals have looked somewhat similar to that. A cross on the right-hand side, and he dinks it in on the left-hand side. It's a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. We'll just say that one, because we have been very good. We are just going to tell Danilo and Arthur just to calm down a little bit. We don't want them doing anything silly, but 2-0 at half-time, that is perfect. Let's see whether we can push on and get another goal. That'd be brilliant. 3-0, I would say we've got a good chance of seeing the game out then. But 2-0 there's always a risk. There's always a risk. Flashbacks to the Liverpool game at the end of the group stages of the Champions League. Don't really want to think about it, but it makes me think about it. Right, Dybala's doing a really good job of holding the ball up here, but that is a woeful pass from him. But Rabiot manages to get on the end of it. Rabiot did really well to recover that there. Tsimikas, Chiesa, Fabian, back to Chiesa. That's a lovely goal. That is a lovely goal from Chiesa. I can't say much about that. That is a beautiful goal. I feel sad because there's nothing really. We could have defended it better, but that, oh my word, oh, it's a lovely goal. I can't be too mad. I mean, I am mad, but I can't be too mad. Right, let's push on and let's get a third, shall we? Because they're coming back into the game and I don't much care for it. I mean, Kay's still on a 6.2 apparently, considering he's just scored a goal. That's a bit concerning. Right, we're going to demand more from the boys, and we are going to make a couple of substitutions. Right, Dennis Mann has had a shocking game. We're going to be bringing him off for Rooney Bargi. Rooney Bargi returned from injury in the last game and looked pretty good. I think he got an assist as well, actually, so let's get him back on the pitch. We're also going to bring Castrovilli on too. just to freshen up the midfield a little bit. Coutinho and Castrovilli, they've got a decent partnership in that midfield every now and then. They've played there together. They have done all right. So we'll go with that for now, and we'll see how we get on. Come on, boys. Let's get 3 points from this game. We can do it. We can do it. I have faith in us. Missed the final substitution window. Right, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Who's the word? Well, Kasper Dolberg's not played very well. So I'll tell you what. We'll bring Coutinho on as the final change. That's not what I wanted to click on, but you know what? If it works, it works. Let's see whether we can just nick a final goal. They have just changed their playing style, so we are going to adjust accordingly. Going to distribute to our centre-backs. We're probably going to bring this line down a little bit. I think we might. Do we go hard tackling? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll be more disciplined and start time wasting a little bit and just see how we go. We'll see how we go. Let's just try and eke the game out a little bit. Well, we have a corner. Castrovilli whips it in. He's looking for the head of someone. Doesn't get anyone that we would like to get on the end of it. Karabek now. Gets it into Coutinho. Felipe Coutinho whips it in. Looking for Mihaila. A Mihaila hat-trick would be absolutely fantastic today, but I don't think we're going to get it. Right, Sambia. Rooney Bargi. Bargi now looking for options. Coutinho. Lovely passing, but we give the ball away. And all of a sudden, we could be in a bit of trouble here. Duvan Zapata on the ball here, looking to recycle the ball. Gets to Fabian. Karabek intercepts the pass, though, and Greenwell has it at the back. Let's just see the game out, boys. Let's not worry too much. I mean, launching the ball forward like that is not what I really wanted to see. And we give the ball away again. This is just setting up for a goal, and Duvan Zapata is in here. What did I say? What did I say? I said very early on, I worry about this game. And 2-0 is the worst of the scorelines. And we were 2-0 ahead as well. It's not like it was 1-1, then 2-1. It was 2-0, then 2-1. I'm livid at the boys. We've absolutely battered him in that game, and we've just dropped points against AC Milan. I'm livid. Not good enough in front of goal, and furious with defensive work. I mean, the goalkeeper's unmotivated. I'm not being funny. It was his fault. Right, well, that leaves us 3 points off of AC Milan, level on games. So it is going to be coming down to that final game of the season. Oh, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. I mean, Mihaila's been fantastic. His agent's asking for a new deal. We might have to acquiesce to his request, which is a bit frustrating. Right, AC Milan. Let's just have a quick note. Who have you got to play towards the end of the season? So you've got Salernitana. Going to win that. You've got Napoli, you've got Roma. Roma near the bottom of the table. It is still going to be a really difficult game for them. They've still got Juventus to come. They've still got Inter to come. They've got Udinese, they've got Fiorentina, and then us on the final day of the season. It's not an easy run, but if you compare that with our run, who's got the worst one? So, we've got Fiorentina and Udinese next. Ignore the Europa League. We've got Cagliari, Verona. Inter Milan is in the Coppa Italia. We've then got Empoli, Sampdoria, Torino, Lazio. Realistically, we've got a couple of half-difficult games coming up now. I mean, Fiorentina and Udinese, where are they in the table? Udinese are 6th and Fiorentina are 9th. Should be winning those games, to be completely honest with you. And then Lazio, I think, are relatively high up as well. Lazio are 3rd, so that is going to be a tough game as well. I think we've both got very similar draws, to be honest with you. I think the title might be slipping away from us, though. I think we had a really good chance at the title this season. And I think it is starting to slip away. That was a very winnable game with the way that we played, and we've just let them do that to us a little bit, and I'm a little bit frustrated. I mean, the goalkeeper had a poor game. Dennis Mann, Cambiasso both had poor games. Rooney Bargi came on and did very, very little. Right. It's not the end of the world, but we need to shift focus now. I'm going to play the rest of the games up until that second leg in the quarterfinal of the Europa League, and hopefully we go into it with a lead. I'll see you in a moment. Well, we're not going to be going into it with a lead, but we're certainly not going to be going into it behind. It was a 1-1 draw in that first leg against Real Betis. Kasper Dolberg getting the equaliser on the 51st minute. We were dominated in the first half, made a few tactical tweaks, and then all of a sudden we came out fighting, and realistically we were unlucky to come away with I was going to say a point. It's not a point, is it? It's just a draw. Actually, it was a fair result thinking about it, actually. Thinking back to the game, it was more of a fair result, but that's not the only game we played, obviously. We had a weird game against Inter in the Coppa Italia semi-final, which we've still got the second leg of that to come. 6-3, we were 2-0 down, and it was all looking incredibly bleak. Berardi with a double. And then the game just went a little bit nuts. Dolberg got a hat-trick. Thiago Mihailo and Karabekh all scoring. Tovan getting a goal as well. It was weird. And Rooney Bargi got injured in that game. He's only just come back from that injury too. But it was just a weird one. Philippe Donvito, by the way, is getting game time and he is performing really well. He's got something like 2 goals, 4 assists, or 2 goals, 5 assists, or something like that. But he is looking like a proper player already, doing very, very well. We did beat Fiorentina. We did beat Udinese. Got the draw, as I've just mentioned, and we've just come off a 4-0 battering of Cagliari with Dolberg, Martino and Gabia scoring the goals. Got a bit of a good news, bad news situation before we get into this game as well. We'll start with the good news. The good news is we have made our first signing of next season. Esposito is back for a 3rd time. I couldn't resist it. I went in just to see whether the thing of him being at a new club was going to stop us getting him. Now it didn't, because he's going to be joining us in the summer. Obviously he'll have been at the club for a year. We have signed him, I can't remember how much it's for, up to £29.5 million, 12.5 of that up front. The reason why our transfer budget is still pretty decent is because we've had new budgets, which has finally fixed the wage budget issue. We now have a positive wage budget. We can change the wage budget if we want to. All is well. That's the good news. Bad news is injuries. Dragowski's out. He's not out for the whole season, but he has got 2 to 3 weeks out, which means he is going to be missing this game. He missed the last game as well, so we are relying on Silvestri in goal. Slightly less of a concern is the injury to, where is he? Oh yeah, Mihailo. We've got him on an injection at the moment, but he will be out for a few weeks once he has played this game. Wanted to have him in this game just because he's been so good this season. He's got 20 goals, 8 assists in all competitions. He's been fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, Felipe Coutinho has continued to be solid this season. Not necessarily spectacular, but solid. 8 goals, 3 assists in the league, 7.08. Do you know what? Considering how he started, I will take it. But enough of that. We're here for this. Second leg of the quarter-final. At least that semi-final then. Can we get through to a semi-final of the Europa League? I hope so. I'm sure you hope so as well. Let's find out, shall we? Let's go. 1-1 from a very tight first leg. We didn't lose the away leg, which obviously back in the day would have been great because it meant we wouldn't have lost what I'm trying to say. We got a goal in the away leg. Back in the day, that would have been good because of the away goal rule. Obviously, that's not a thing anymore. So it's just good that we didn't lose in the game where, in theory, we have less momentum. Obviously, this is the game where we, in theory, have the most momentum. So we'd like to be winning this one, if at all possible, boys. And again, I made quite a bit when we had the draw about how relatively easy our side of the draw is. How we've got a nice little path to the final if we can make the most of it. But we do have to make the most of it. Cataldi now to Dolberg. Dolberg passing it to Monchu. Dolberg now playing for his future, remember, because we know how good Esposito can be in this team. And the real thing we've got to think about with Esposito, when we had him previously, an offside there, when we had him previously, we played him as an advanced forward, and he did very, very well for us. But actually, his stats could work very well as a deep line forward. He's relatively tall. He's not strong, but he's not weak either. He's got a 12 for strength, I've already checked, which is not obviously great, but it's certainly not terrible. But his passing and his vision are both 14s, his flair's 15s. He could do a real job there because his finishing's good, but so is his passing. And it's the one thing that Lorenzo Luca didn't really have, was his passing. Lima has just absolutely poleaxed Mihailo. Mihailo had a shout there for a penalty, didn't get it. Are we going back to that, ref? No, we're not. I mean, that was really, really poor tackling from the Real Betis player. And I don't know how they got away with that. We should have had a penalty there for the tackle on Valentin Mihailo. We're lucky as well. Remember, he is carrying an injury. I can't remember what the injury is, but he's carrying an injury that's bad enough that he, in theory, should be out. He has had an injection to compete in this game. That is worth remembering. Cambiasso now. Whips it in. Looking for Dennis Mann. Mann pulls it to Dolberg, and Dolberg is there, and it is 1-0 in the second leg. 2-1 overall in the tie. And we may just be going through to a Europa League semi-final. We're winning the Europa League. I told you this before. I told you this when we had the Champions League group stage. We're winning the Europa League. I will take it. Any European competition, I will take. And again, it would be quite nice to win it. This is the European competition that Parma have won in their history. They've never won the Champions League, but they have won this. It would be nice. Remember, this save being getting Parma back to their former glory. It'd be nice to win it just because it is part of their former glory. probably shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. It is still only the quarter-final. And Silvestri pulling off a great save there. Silvestri would not have been my choice for this game. I won't lie to you. I'm pretty sure you're with me on that as well. But with Dragowski out, we don't really have much of a choice. And he showed himself to be very capable there. Hopefully he continues to be for the rest of the game. To be fair, he looked very good in the last game against Cagliari. I know you didn't see it, but he looked very good in that game. Dragowski, by the way, out with a sports hernia. I don't know whether I said that. I don't know whether you saw that. Yeah, he's done very, very well so far. But we do... I mean, he had one wobbly moment against Cagliari, but he got a clean sheet, which is the main thing. Mihailo looking to get a goal. It's gone in the back of the net. Danny with a horrible piece of goalkeeping. But I don't know whether this is going to count. I'm trying to work out what the linesman on the other side is doing. Has he disallowed it? He has disallowed it. I did think he looked a bit funny. It is still only 1-0 on the night, 2-1 overall. And yeah, we had 2 players offside. I think that's going to be Dolberg offside as well. But it is half-time. It is 1-0. We do lead. I was going to say on the halfway point of the tie. It's technically the 3/4 point of the tie, really. Let's see whether we can get another goal just to cement this game. We have utterly dominated them. Real Betis were very much the better team in the first half of the last game. But it was nowhere near this comprehensive. We have shown ourselves to be fantastic in this game, but we need to turn things up and get another goal. Marn gives the ball away, but we managed to retain possession. Gets it back to Sambia now. Cataldi, Monchu, big ball over the top looking for Dennis Mann. He does find him. Can he get the ball to someone? And that has got to be a penalty. The referee is going to be having a look at this one. There should have been one in the first half. I will stand by that call. But it looks like the referee is going to give one now. Ovidiu... I don't know what his surname is. Hatagan. Well, he's giving it anyway. It doesn't really matter. And I think it's going to be our man Monchu, the club captain, to take it. And Monchu does score. And it is 2-0 on the night. 3-1 on aggregate. We're going through to the semi-final as things stands. And I can breathe a little bit because I was worried about this game after the first leg because the first leg was hard. It was so difficult. We did not. I mean, I keep going back and forth on whether we deserved to win it or not, and that tells me it was a very even game. There were moments when we looked like we should have won. There were moments when Betis looked like they should have won. It was one of those games. Cataldi nearly just squeezing one in there. Didn't quite get the job done, and it remains 2-0 on the night. It is around substitution o'clock. We will let this highlight play out first, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully Betis don't score. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that at all. Fakir has just got on the end of that. Fakir. Okay, it wasn't given. It wasn't given. It's fine. For a moment, thought there might have been a penalty against us. Doesn't look like there was, though. Right, we are getting tired, and that is not a good thing. So we need to make some substitutions here to kind of counteract that. I'm tempted by Coutinho and Don Vito because both of them have been very good recently. I think we are going to do Coutinho, actually. He's going to come on in the centre of the park. We'll change Monchu to the defending central midfielder. I'm a little bit worried about my central defensive partnership, Greenwell and Thiat, just because they're obviously going to be tiring. But Nabil Fekir is playing as a false 9, and Kabir tight marks. We're trying to train him off tight marking. But he will get dragged out of position if we put him there instead of Greenwell. So I'm going to leave those two for now. Strategic thinking there from Stubo. Stefanovic has had some good performances recently, so I'll tell you what. Mihaila's race is run. He can come off, and we're going to bring Stefanovic on. He has done a couple of good performances recently, and hopefully he can do another one here tonight. We are, again, 2-0 ahead on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. So we have got a lot going in our favour in this game at the moment. We can afford to take one or two, not even risks, but we can afford to take one or two good players off with decent players coming on in their place. Stefanovic now on the ball. Going to try and whip this one in. Get it all the way back. Looking for Dennis Mann. Can't quite find him. But Sambia gets on the interception. Coutinho now looked for the pass back to Sambia. Couldn't quite find it. But the pass from Betis is lacking. And Greenwell will go again. Greenwell looking for options. He's turned into a right back here. Dolberg now, who really should be in the middle of the park. Gets it to Sambia. Sambia back to Dolberg. Dolberg looking for one of the men in the middle. Can't find him. Because realistically, it should have been him as the man in the middle. Utter madness. Stefanovic now. This is lovely play at the moment. And Karabek's there. He should have scored. Doesn't matter. Because Dolberg did. Kasper Dolberg, I have to say, has made a real effort to make me consider him for the starting striker role next season. He really has. He has scored plenty of goals. And it's at the point now where at the start of the season, I would have considered selling him this coming summer because he just wasn't looking good when he got his chances. Now he's had a consistent run in the team and he's gotten used to how we play. He is looking like a decent striker, which has surprised me a little bit. So I do think with Esposito coming in, if this spells trouble for anyone, it might be Coutinho. Coutinho is currently our backup striker. He might not be for very long, if I'm being completely honest with you. He might be out of the club and looking for somewhere else to go. I don't know if I can actually do that to him, but there's a chance it might happen. There is definitely a chance. Right, Don Vito is going to come on. I was umming and ahhing about it. We're going to rest Adam Karabakh. 2.5 star Filippo Don Vito. He is looking like a little bit of a superstar. Let's get him on for the last 10 minutes so he can get some Europa League experience against Spanish opposition. Does he look Spanish to you? He does not. He is Italian. If you get that reference, then you watch the same Football Manager YouTubers that I do. Silvestri now, playing out from the back, gets to Greenwell. Fiat, looking for options, gets it to Monchu, Coutinho. Don Vito now, holding the ball up. Somehow Don Vito has come on and got a yellow card straight away. I am just going to tell him to calm down a little bit because I don't like that. Oh, look at this from Don Vito. He had an amazing run in the last game to assist a goal. And he's done it again. It's a lovely move. And it's to Dennis Mann, who I'm fairly confident that's what he did in the last game. And it was on the other wing. He was on the left wing, big crossing, beat a couple of players, and then got the ball across to Dennis Mann. And he's kind of done similar here, just on the other side. Pulls it back, gets it to Dennis Mann. It's actually a deflection from the defender, but it still counts as an assist. And Filippo Don Vito gets an assist in the Europa League. Dennis Mann gets our fourth of the game. It's 5-1 on aggregate. And it does not feel like that first leg. That first leg was weird compared to this game. But we do win, and we do go through to the semi-final. And the question is going to be, who stands in our way of that Europa League final? Hopefully we're going to find out. That was very good. I am very impressed with this team, considering how that first leg was. That was pretty spectacular. Right, are we going to find out? Lazio. Well, how did we do against Lazio earlier in the season? That is the question. Let's get rid of our friendlies just to make this a little bit easier. So Lazio. Where are you, boys? Right, Lazio. Beat them 1-0. I'm assuming we haven't played them yet. No, we haven't. It's our second to last game as well. So the only evidence we've got about them this season is that we could scrape past them 1-0. How did we do towards the end of last season? I know that's not much of an outlier, but I am interested. Lazio drew 3-3. And then earlier in the season, we... Goodness me, where are they? Beat them 1-0. So, they're always very tight games. I think we were away first, weren't we? Yes, we are. So we're away first, home second. Same as this way round. It's the way round that I think teams prefer. Well, that's going to be a bit fun, isn't it? Wow. That went well, didn't it? That went ridiculously well. Right, the age-old question of when are we going to be back? I think the obvious thing to do is to come back for that second leg. Again, I mean, that's the trend when we get to this stage of the season if we're in Europe. We come back for the second leg of the European competition. So we're going to do that for the Lazio game. And then in terms of the game we play as well, I don't think we're going to show you the Coppa Italia semi-final. We won the Coppa Italia last season. That is the priority of the save. I think instead we are focusing on the league still. We are still, if we have a quick look at the table, only 3 points behind AC Milan. Just that one loss extra to them, the only thing separating us. And again, we do play them at the end of the season, so it's going to be interesting. So I think we have to come back for that, either the Sampdoria game or the Torino game. And I'm actually thinking we come back for the Torino game after the Lazio game. So we'll come back for the second leg of the semi-final, then we'll come back for that Serie A game against Torino and see how we do. And hopefully, we haven't bottled everything by that point. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. And subscribe to the channel for more future lovely FM content. I've been Stubo. You guys have been awesome. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.